Good morning, friends. I hope you're having a good day. Today I'm going to read to you the story, Mice Make Trouble. One day, Henry secretly borrowed his sister's box of colored pencils. She had said the pencils were magic, and he wanted to see for himself. It says, "Warning, do not draw dangerous or mischievous animals," was printed on the cover of the box. But Henry couldn't read yet. He closed the curtains in his room and began to draw on the bare wall. Are we supposed to draw on the walls? No. He drew a tiny car and colored it red. And before he had time to draw anything else, the car popped off the wall and zoomed across the room. From here to here, it became real. Henry would have loved to ride in it, but the car was too tiny for him. Who would be small enough to get in this car, he wondered. Who's small enough to get in a car that size? What do you think? Let's see what he draws. A mouse! That was it. Henry quickly sketched a mouse hole on the wall and drew a mouse above it. But the mouse didn't look quite right, and Henry had to wipe it away and draw another, which wasn't right either. Next was the next one, or the one after that, and so on, until 6 mice had been wiped away. Henry finally settled for a hedgehog, and it was much easier to draw. There's the hedgehog. So all the mice and the hedgehog. Let's see what happens. But as the hedgehog walked off the wall to explore Henry's room, the 6 not quite right mice followed right behind. Each one of them had the very problem that had made Henry wipe it away in the first place. But none seemed to mind at all. So now he has 6 mice and a hedgehog and a car that came out of the wall from the magic crayons. One had too big an ear, another too long a tail. So let's see, too big an ear. Look at his too long a tail. Another too round a head. There were red noses, crooked whiskers, long legs, fleecy fur. What an extraordinary assortment of mice they were. See all the different mice? Henry was delighted to have company, but his playmates were not very civilized. They started fighting and soon spoiled the games. Only the hedgehog knew how to behave. Look at that well-behaved hedgehog. He had found the colored pencils and was drawing a glass of soda. Uh-oh, now they have the magic colored pencils, the animals. Then he sat on the comfortable pillow and began to read. Look, there's his soda that he drew. And that is when the trouble began. Now that the mice had found out about the magic pencils, they started drawing all sorts of toys, all of them entirely inappropriate for indoors. And they jumped and hopped and raced around the room, shrieking and cheering. So look, there's like a pogo stick, soccer ball, skateboard. What else? The little fluffy ones riding around in the car. And then there's well-behaved hedgehog. When there was no more room left to play because of all the toys, they grabbed the colored pencils and started drawing again. Earthworms. Where's the worms? You guys see them? Oh, I think it's a big earthworm. Oh, yeah, it is. It's a giant earthworm. Earthworms and butterflies and bees and bugs of all sorts. Do you see the bumblebees? Oh, there's the bee. And then all kinds of bugs. The mice knew not to draw any dangerous animals, jumped off the wall, and crawled and flew around the room. Ooh. What a mess they were making! Even the hedgehog contributed. His prickles had torn the pillow to pieces. Look, all the feathers came out. Finally, Henry had an idea. He grabbed the box of colored pencils away from the mice, and as fast as he could, he drew a teacher. What's the teacher going to do? She was a very serious and respectable mouse lady with rimmed glasses and a book in her hand, and she looked just right. There's the teacher mouse. "Quiet, please," she said firmly as she walked off the wall, and at once the mice were silent and a little embarrassed. "Come to me, all of you," she instructed, taking the youngest mouse by the hand. She was about to take all of them into the mouse hole and keep them busy with nursery rhymes and games. But then she looked around Henry's room and thought it was impolite to leave him with such a mess. Taking the colored pencils, she quickly drew a broom, some soap, pails of warm water, brushes, and mops. Brushes, where's the mop, friends? Do you see it? Don't see the mop. Maybe you guys can find it. Then she had the mice and the hedgehog scrub all the pencil marks from the walls and the floor and the furniture and put Henry's room back in order, just like we keep our classroom clean and beautiful, right? And when all the toys were put away, the teacher drew a small cardboard box to hold all the little animals crawling and flying around the room. She planned to show them to her kindergarten mice. Then the 6 mice apologized to Henry and went quietly into the mouse hole. They dragged along the hedgehog, who was quite reluctant to leave Henry's room. Reluctant means he doesn't want to go. After the teacher and the animals left, there were no signs of what had happened except for the tiny mouse hole, which no one had remembered to wipe away. And sometimes, as Henry lies in bed at night, if he listens carefully, he can still hear chuckling and giggling coming out of the wall. So they're still in there. And that's the end. That's a super fun story. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll have another story for you tomorrow. Love you. Bye.